How's it going everybody, and welcome back to a new video. Today we are showcasing a mod called Illage and Spillage, which has a range of new illagers which should complement raids. This is available in versions 1.16.5, 1.18.2 and 1.19.2, but the newer updates are only available in the most recent versions of Minecraft. For this video I am showcasing it in 1.19.2, which is the most recent version with the newest features, so don't forget to like and subscribe and let's get into the good stuff. As I've said in the intro, there are many new illagers which have been added which should spawn in village raids. The Igniter is the first illager I'll go through, and this dangerous mob will ignite any target with its flamethrower dispenser. This illager is very destructive, so it will burn many villagers, players, buildings, and sometimes their allies. If this is the case, the Igniter will start to fire snowballs to extinguish any ally they have mistakenly set fire to. You can tell whether the Igniter is going to shoot fireballs or snowballs out of its flamethrower dispenser with the torch. If it is lit, then fireballs will fire from the weapon. If it isn't lit, then snowballs will fire from the weapon. Now you may be thinking, how the hell do I get close enough to kill this pillager? Well, after too many fireballs have been fired from the flamethrower, it will overheat, which is your chance to strike and take it down before it can wreak any more havoc upon the village. This next illager is known as the Twittologer, and they are an angry and powerful mob, so it's best not to attack it head on. The reason I say this is because it will literally attack anything it gets attacked by, including their own allies. The best thing you can do is try to get one of the other illagers to accidentally attack the Twittologer. This guy may deal devastating damage, but like I said, you can use this to your advantage. This next illager type mob is slightly different to the first two illagers I've gone through, and this is known as the Crocofang. They are like a weaker counterpart to the Ravagers, but that doesn't mean they can still do some serious damage. It has two separate abilities, the bite and the charge. The bite is where it will just melee attack you, but still do some serious damage. If you are too far away from the Crocofang, then it will charge to your position, dealing a massive amount of knockback to you, or anything in its way. You can use this destructive attack to your advantage however, because if it charges into a wall, or into your shield, then it can be temporarily stunned and dazed, which should then be your cue to attack it with everything you've got. The Absorber is a powerful tank-like illager with much health and protection. Any hit from any source, whether that is your bow, sword, or by other means, will only deal 1 damage. This may seem like it's overpowered, but when I say any source of damage, I mean weak damage sources, like sweet berry bushes and cacti, so don't bother wasting any powerful enchantment bow or sword on this guy, as it won't do much damage. It is recommended to use creative strategies to kill these guys, because if you step back and think about the weaknesses over the advantages, it can be quite easy to kill if you have the patience. The Preserver is another illager that can be found with this mod and act like a shield for their ally illagers. What they will do is latch onto any close by illager and protect it. When they do this, any damage inflicted onto the illager will be halved, but there is a catch to this. The Preserver is covered in hay, so if you set them on fire, then both the Preserver and the illager it is latched onto will take double fire damage, and they will burn twice as fast, so make sure you bring yourself a fire aspect weapon or even just a flint and steel next time there is a raid. Now, when there is a raid, new boss-like illagers will join in on the mayhem. There are 3 of them with different abilities, so let's get to it. The Freakager is the first on this list and is a Halloween-type nightmarish mob and is described as an abomination. When this is attacked, the Freakager will pull out an innocent villager and feed it a dark potion. This will transform the poor villager into a monstrosity known as Ragno. There are many different abilities that the Freakager can use, one of them being axes. This ability will make it so that the Freakager will throw axes at you, and once it reaches half health, it will throw them much quicker. Another ability is the Scythe, which is when the Freakager throws a scythe at you, but it acts like a boomerang where it will go back to them. Again, if the Freakager is below half health, then it will start to chase you for a couple of seconds before boomeranging back to them. Bombs are another ability that will be used against you, and this will mean that 4 pumpkin bombs will be thrown at you. You will have a chance to escape this ability, because it will explode after a few seconds. At half health, the Freakager will instead throw skull bombs, which will chitter it before exploding, but they will cluster, causing even more explosions. Dark Potions is another ability, which will be when the Freakager throws a flurry of dark potions at you, and if you are hit, it will constantly damage you whilst also moving you uncontrollably for a few seconds. Trick or Treat is another ability which, when used, will shoot out some candy around the Ragno, and if they aren't destroyed fast enough, it will heal the Freakager. The Ragno has an ability called Leap, where the Ragno will charge and leap at you. Even though this doesn't have much range, it can deal some heavy knockback. Another ability is Web, which will make it so that the Ragno will ensnare you with cobwebs, making you vulnerable to attacks for around 10 seconds. Once the Freakager is slain, the Ragno will eat what is left of the bag of horrors, and will become uncontrollable with different abilities. They can block your attacks as well, when no damage will be dealt to them. An ability that the Ragno can now have is Burrow, and it will burrow underground and attempt to come back out from underneath you. Another ability that the Ragno can now use is Charge, whereby the Ragno will charge at you very quickly, so make sure you move before it gets to you. The final ability that the Ragno can do is Bag of Horrors. As I've said, the Ragno swallowed the Freakager's Bag of Horrors when it died, so it can imitate 2 different abilities including the Bombs and Trick or Treat. The Ragno will tire itself out after using so many abilities, so will stop for a quick moment, which will be your time to strike and damage them as much as possible before they are back up and running again. Once it has been slain, then it will be over and you have defeated both the Freakager and the Ragno, and it will drop the Bag of Horrors. The Spiritcaller is another boss that can spawn in the 4th wave of a raid. The Spiritcaller can only take 50% damage from any projectiles, and can even dodge them, so a crossbow may be something more useful than a bow. The Spiritcaller will start to fight you once it is attacked, and can use up to 5 abilities. Spirit Still is an ability which, when used, will take the souls of any nearby mobs, just making them stand there as if they were dead. The Spiritcaller will then use the souls to attack you, but they don't have much health. You can kill the soulless mobs, and doing so will reduce the number of souls being taken from the next attack of the Spirit Still. Imps is another ability which can be used to summon 3 imps. These imps will set you on fire if they hit you, so try to avoid these. Spirit Hands is another ability from which the Spiritcaller will summon 2 illusions of hands, which can pull you upwards and slam you into the ground and punch you. Soul Laser is another ability where the Spiritcaller will lock onto you as a target, and right before it summons the laser, you can run, otherwise it will pin you down. Soul Swarm is the 5th ability, which can only be used when the Spiritcaller is at half health, and what they will do is summon all of the fallen Illagers that have died. This is when you should start to run away, as the souls will charge at you and start to explode. If you finally manage to defeat the Spiritcaller, then it will drop the Spellbound Book. The final boss in this mod is the Magispeller, and will only spawn in the bonus wave of the hardest wave in a raid. The Magispeller has 12 different abilities. Fakers is an ability that can only be used at half health, where the Magispeller will create many clones of itself, and you'll need to damage all of them to find the real Magispeller. Crossbow Spin is another ability where the Magispeller will teleport behind you and fire a bunch of extremely deadly arrows into you. You can dodge this however by running away, or by walking back against a wall so it can't teleport behind you. Heal is quite self-explanatory, where the Magispeller will heal itself unless taken enough damage whilst it's healing. If it does manage to complete its healing, then it will gain Regeneration 3. Dispenser is another ability where the Magispeller will throw out dispensers, which will then dispense 5 Illagers. Always destroy the dispensers first, because it will constantly spawn more Illagers if they are killed. Fang Run is when the Magispeller will spawn many Evoker Fangs, and the best way to dodge this ability is by just running, as the Magispeller will rapidly use this ability. Summon is when the Magispeller will summon 5 Vexes to fight for them, but they're not too hard to kill, as they aren't as hard as the Evoker's Vexes. Potions is another ability where the Magispeller will start to throw many splash potions of slowness around it, but this slowness effect will not affect the Magispeller. Fireball is where the Magispeller will shoot fireballs. Life Stealing is another ability that is quite self-explanatory, whereby the Magispeller will try to suck in anything nearby, including you, and if you are caught, then it will attack you and heal whilst doing so. Ravager is when the Magispeller will summon an illusion of a Ravager, but this is called the Crashager. The Crashager will charge at you and explode, so try to dodge this if you can. Knockback is another ability where the Magispeller will punch you away if you get too close. The final ability that the Magispeller may use is the Kaboomer, where they will summon a giant creeper illusion and teleport it on top of you before it explodes. This isn't an instant explosion, so you will have time to run and get out of the area. There is a reason why this only spawns in a bonus wave of the hardest wave, and it is because it is a very hard boss to conquer, where only skilled and well prepared players are able to defeat it. If you are able to slay the Magispeller, then it will drop the Totem of Banishment. Along with extra Illagers come with some great and useful items. The Totem of Banishment is an item that is dropped by the Magispeller when it is defeated. This useful item is used against Vexes to banish them from your world, and luckily, this isn't something that can just be used once. It can in fact be used every 15 seconds, so this will surely help you out in future raids. Spellbound Book is a powerful item that is dropped when the Spiritcaller is killed. With this book, you can use 2 different abilities, although use them wisely because it has a 1-hour cooldown. This will not reset even if you die. The first ability is when you right click the ground with an empty hand, and doing so will summon imps to rain fire upon the ground. The second ability is when you hit a mob with an empty hand to summon 3 Illager souls to rain down upon the mob and explode. When you slay the Freakager and the Ragno, it will drop the Bag of Horrors. This item can be used as 3 attacks from which the Freakager used. These are the Pumpkin Bombs, Scythe, or Trick or Treat. That's it from me today. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks to Carlo Andre and Crazy Boy for recommending this mod for me to showcase. I really appreciate it. Apologies for no videos for the past couple weeks. I've had a cold and it's sort of prevented me from doing a voiceover. So hopefully I will get back on track. Anyway, I hope you all have a great day and I'll catch you all in the next video.